And they connected there and picked up a first down.
On first down, it's Murray. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Hey, 21. Hey, chill.
Here's Breeze to throw. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And it's 3rd and short.
Ready. 95-56. Easy, opposite.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd.
What you thought this was, bro?
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
Good.
They'll go for it. It's Breeze.
Oh my God, I seen circle, bro.
Damn. The sack by Todd Davis. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
I seen circle wide open, bro. What are they doing? Oh, he about to get the flag.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And that'll set them back 5.
What's up with Madden right now? Yo.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Man, was tweaking just now.
Block working out of the gun. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. The pass there complete to Sutton. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. On 2nd and 11 now. Block. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. On 3rd and long, it's Locke. And he's going to go down.
Hold on, bro.
Cameron Jordan able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
I won't make you feel alone.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's locked. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Just gave me fucking
Cameron Jordan,
nigga.
and the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right, but he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I'll guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On 1st down, Breeze.
This is a dot!
Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Yo, these niggas not ready, son. Oh, man. Don't quit, bro. Don't do that. So he about to quit. So he about to quit. Don't quit, bro. Don't do that. It ain't that serious, bro. Wow. Your peer has conceded the game. What does concede mean, son?
Ladies and gentlemen.
1-2 game on the street.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog.
That's crazy. You just left the game.
This be the green light. Go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to win. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credential. Best of both worlds when we rocking over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready?
Shit, cry.
Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Steady. To the letter rock. Turn it up.
That shit came fast though.
Rocket like rocket fuel. Talk about space out your mind.
Alright, bro.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as we are in the inner harbor of Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line.
Bro?
Great return.
I'm trying to let you eat, bro.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
It's our time. It's our time.
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Now it's Jackson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
He definitely got to pass the ball, man. Start and 11. It's 3rd and 11, bro.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson rolling to his left. He can run for it.
Are you yo?
Lamar Jackson,
the
such
whole
a
left
threat with those
side,
legs, able to improvise and get the first.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. He's going to find his tight end Boyle. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. From the gun, Jackson. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help, because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it. I
didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute with this.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Eli Apple. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. No doubt, a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there.
And Breeze is going to go down in the end zone. A safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety.
Brandon, let's pile this play away, because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And they're going to be set up in excellent field position up past the 45.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Jackson to throw. Roberts has it. Oh, he's got a little daylight. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep
Jackson hit.
Thank you. I'm fucking running with that nigga, bro. Stop running with your quarterback.
As his guys will get the football back. And they put it on the ground here on the second drive. And, of course, Charles, that follows drive number 1 where they had the INT.
Makes you wonder what's going on with this team, because a lot of times we can attribute it to nerves, but maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it's the preparation for the game. Maybe they just came into a little lackadaisical, because that's just not looking good at all. That's just not the football that we came here to see.
And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Back near his goal line. Here's Breeze. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10. The Saints with a football here to begin quarter number 2 as they face a difficult 3rd and 12 coming up.
Opposite.
Now Breeze on the bootleg. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that will be
What? Come on, bro. Y'all niggas.
They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
What we got?
On the counter, Ingram. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop.
And this is caught for a touchdown. We'll check the flag, but it looked like a clear offsides, and it should stand. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
They go play action here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
CD, with that incompletion, let's look at some of the big games week 13. So these are ones that our crew probably think are the biggest 4. Let's rank them 1 to 4 as far as how big they are and what they mean. Baltimore at Buffalo, San Fran at New Orleans, KC at New England, Seattle at the Rams. How would you rank those? What do you think?
Well, this is going to sound self-serving since I'm working San Francisco and New Orleans, but to me that's the #1 game, because the #1 seed in the NFC will be determined that week for that moment. Okay, the winner of that becomes the #1 seed. I think the #2 game, Seattle at the Rams, because Seattle's trying to maintain pace with San Francisco or become the #1 team in the NFC West, and the Rams have to have it if they have any designs of making the playoffs. The #3 game, Baltimore at Buffalo. Buffalo's announced its presence, that big win on Thanksgiving Day over Dallas, but Baltimore's the hottest team, the best team in the league over the last 8 weeks. And then you finish up Kansas City, New England. How is that the #4 game?
I know.
Hard to believe, but it is in this instance.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Toss play, Kamara. He's got the first down here inside the 30. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, 42 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Lutz with the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it out past the 30. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. CD, while we have a quick second here, I want to give a shout-out to three teams who have struggled mightily this year, who all got wins in Week 12. The Dolphins, the Redskins, and for their first win of the season, the Bengals.
How about you? I love your empathy, right? You hate to see teams struggle like this. Hate to see teams that are down. And when they get wins, you come with a little bounce, don't you? You got a little extra spring in your step. Those Bengals, and they beat the Jets, who at the time were hot, right? They won 3 in a row. How about Washington? That win over Carolina. And, of course, the Dolphins. No one really saw that coming. Their win over Philadelphia.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Here we go, D.
Now Jackson on first down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
To try again after the sack. Jackson. Well, the pressure gets to him again. Sheldon Rankins picks up his second sack of the afternoon. To throw is Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
I'm still getting the ball at the half, bro.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. 13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on first down. Now a play fake. Breeze. He's got Smith here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Breeze. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Team called the slots. This is
Ready?
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. It's a safety blitz and a sack for Earl Thomas. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Another try after the first down sack. Breeze. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jalen Ferguson in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Hey, break it down, fellas. Break it down.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And that is incomplete. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work. Well,
and from their own end zone, it's a fake. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And here's where I'm perfectly happy to defer to my analyst and let him analyze this one.
I don't get it.
That's the analysis?
That's the analysis. I don't get it. I mean, you're on the other side of midfield. Maybe. But a fake punt way down here, you want analysis? Ridiculous. Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get into that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Dancing to his left. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Roberts got it. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson got a man. It's Brown. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
Set, ready. Go to base. 54. Line 54. Let's go, team.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. It's caught by Roberts. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Marcus Davenport able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Letting one go deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
Out of here,
and they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
Reading that whole play.
Seth Roberts, 33 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11.
Man, that's the stop that I needed.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken very short. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
It's the 3rd quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Looking long for Thomas. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And this would have been returned to right around the 38-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top, you become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play, and that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams, and he is 25.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Kill.
So after the INT, it's Breeze.
My nigga, y'all need to block.
And he goes down. Jalen Ferguson gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Break it down, fellas. Break it down. Under.
Breeze now. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Jalen Ferguson picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play.
Ready.
3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. Over. He's checking.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Ginn has it complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That's good for 28 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Breeze now on 1st down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Mike 57.
To throw is Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. The sack by Justin Ellis.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. From the gun, it's Breeze. And he's going to go down again. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
These niggas is
We're good. Ready.
The Saints do snap it. It's Breeze. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And this is intercepted.